Hello, I'm Antonio Mora, and this is newsandnews.com's Day in Brief. He may be one of the richest men in the world, but I doubt many people would have wanted to be in Mark Zuckerberg's shoes today. The apologetic Facebook founder was accused of willful blindness as the Senate Judiciary and Commerce Committees grilled him over the privacy scandal that has shaken the social media giant. Facebook's failure to protect users' personal data could lead to regulations he and his fellow Silicon Valley moguls want to avoid. Given some of the questions he faced today, we all might be concerned about politicians regulating cutting-edge technology that is constantly changing and that many of them just don't seem to understand. Possibly indicating he was really sorry, Zuckerberg wore a suit and tie, not his usual hoodie. The tensions between the White House and Robert Mueller's office escalated again today. Trump started early with sharply critical tweets of the FBI's raid on the office of longtime Trump lawyer Michael Cohen. White House officials followed that up with thinly veiled threats to fire Mueller. The raid seems to have focused, at least in part, on records related to Trump's separate dealings with former Playmate Karen McDougal and porn star Stormy Daniels. Daniels is said to be cooperating with Mueller's probe. As Trump has repeatedly said, none of this seems to support a case for collusion with Russia, but the investigation may be looking at other campaign finance violations. And the Cohen raid could bait Trump into firing Mueller. That might create a firestorm that could threaten his presidency. In the meantime, the war of words between the U.S. and Russia over Syria worsened as the rivals vetoed each other's resolutions at the UN Security Council. The tensions also escalated when the Russians jammed U.S. drones in Syria. And as we're distracted by porn stars, playmates, and Facebook, we ignore Syria at our own peril. In our daily alternate universes segment that looks at the great divide between conservative and liberal media, CNN and MSNBC focused on the Trump-Cohen-Mueller saga, greatly to the exclusion of almost anything else. Fox News, however, stayed with live coverage of Zuckerberg's Capitol Hill testimony far longer than its competitors. That allowed Fox to avoid the Mueller investigation, although they did lead with it at 6. Sadly, Yvonne Staples of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Staples Singers died today. She was 80. On a personal note, she was an even greater lady than a singer, and I was honored to call her a friend. My condolences to her equally marvelous sister, Mavis. In sports, the Los Angeles Angels are not making baseball fans happy. Shohei Ohtani will get another day's rest today. That means we won't get to see the second coming of Babe Ruth again until tomorrow. Meanwhile, he is among the American League leaders in both pitching and hitting. Finally, my favorite story of the day, Queen Elizabeth comparing both President Trump and Obama to noisy helicopters. You'll find those stories and much more at newsandnews.com. I will see you again tomorrow.